everybody. Welcome to episode 1 of our new podcast called Tunes, Tastes, and Trails.
Welcome.
Brought to you every Sunday night, either at 7 or 8 o'clock, depending on how we feel, when we want to do it.
Sunday night.
So tonight's episode, we're going to talk about the tunes, of course, which is Piano Night Live. We're going to try it tonight if we have enough time and we don't kill each other in our throat, because this is actually a take 2. We're also going to talk about tastes, recent restaurants that we've done food reviews at, and trails, our Panama trip that we went on that we talked about last week at the end of the year, where we're going next, and much more. So I will let him take off first before we get into the tunes part to give you guys an idea of what more you can expect. The floor is yours.
You're putting me on the spot.
I know. I'm good at it.
And
Here we go again.
Did we have a meeting about what we were going to talk about on this show? No, we did not have a meeting to discuss what we're going to talk about on this show.
So we're going to be at each other's throats again, and that's okay too, as long as we keep it clean and it's fun.
So I don't know what to say.
Okay, so why don't we talk about the tunes part? And then I'll let you talk about trails, and we can both talk about taste. How's that?
Okay.
All right, so the tunes part is for when we do Piano Night Live. I don't know if you guys have been following the journey or not, but on, I believe it was like 50 some days ago, YouTube decided to give us another YouTube strike because we were playing music without permission. I don't know if you musicians know it or not, but when you're on YouTube, you cannot play a cover song unless you have a synchronization license, and you also have to have a mechanical license. So without both of those, you're not getting anywhere. You can't do it. Backtrack to that real quick. I was using backing tracks through Jam Zone. I thought I could use them. I guess I can't, because that was the biggest part of the problem. But yet they were able to produce them on their channel and they're fine or whatever, which I find it very hard to believe that they're getting all these licenses because they're very expensive. They're really expensive. So what we're doing is halfway through the show, we're going to turn the YouTube channel off. We're going to go over to Rumble and we're going to do Piano Night Live. The nice thing for you guys is if you watch us through Facebook, you don't have to go anywhere. If you're on YouTube, you can either come to our Facebook page, Lucia and Glenn's World, and check it out, or become a subscriber over on Rumble, because Rumble is YouTube's ugly sister. It exercises freedom of speech, and from reports I've read, YouTube not so much. Tonight we're also streaming on Twitch, and we're also streaming on Rumble, and we're also streaming on Instagram. So if you're on any of the other platforms, by all means, please chime in and let us know where you're tuning in from. Hello to the Down Under Cruisers. First time here in the chat tonight. They've got a wonderful YouTube channel. So if you guys that are tuned in from YouTube, if you put in hashtag Wanderlust or Wanderlust, your channel will come up and hopefully get you guys some new subscribers. Yes, dear.
Sorry.
I see what he's doing. It's okay. It's okay.
Lucia sent me a list.
I did.
Of
very hefty list.
All of her songs that she wanted me to pick a song from.
Right.
So I went to all the messages Lucia sent me since she sent me the list.
Mm-hmm.
And I had seen the list before.
Mm-hmm.
And it was only after I had requested access to look at the list that I was able to see the list. And I clicked on what I thought was the same sheet again, and it made me request access once again.
Well, the problem is that
somebody has to
hang on.
Approve my access. And then if I want to go back to that file again, I have to zing through days and weeks and months worth of Lucia messages. No, it's just like 24 hours of messages I have to go through from Lucia to get to
Oh, did you just get
the
access?
spreadsheet
The problem
that I
is
requested access for 3 days ago.
the problem is that
Right.
we have one too many different platforms that we talk on, so it's next to impossible to keep up.
Okay.
Any hoo-how.
But
But definitely,
how many songs are on this list?
oh, it's massive. Leave that between us. They don't need to see any of that.
I want to show everybody.
Hello there, Mr. Booze. How's
There
the
you
weather
go.
treating you down in Florida? And thank you for popping that in the chat there down under. Hello, Jillian, the cat whisperer of all cats.
Is he the guy with no pants?
No, he's No Pants' friend.
Oh, he's No Pants is his friend. He is not the No Pants
No Pants
guy.
is my friend,
He's
and
not
they
the
met
No
him.
Pants guy. I
No
know
Pants.
that No Pants did a video on YouTube.
I know. We're a little jealous.
He did a video on the YouTube
I know.
with Booze at the Booze Resort.
Mm-hmm. So with the
I'm jealous, thoroughly jealous.
So with the tunes thing, guys, stick around for as long as you can, because in about 25 minutes, we're going to click off the YouTube side, and we want you to come watch the music end of it on Facebook or Rumble, and we're going to see how this works.
So it's Facebook or Rumble now.
For Piano Night Live, yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Or TikTok or
So we're just
Instagram. We're just not
YouTube.
using YouTube.
Because YouTube is like the Gestapo.
Well, until we figure out, if
of
you can
copyright
play
music.
the original music without getting copyrighted, then so be it. But
Well, that's why sometimes when we're out and about and we're filming and there is copyrighted music, let's say we're in a foreign country and we hear some music in the background.
You got to mute that.
Whatever it is, it has to be muted, or you have to put some sort of acceptable audio over the top of that music.
We were in Thailand. This was when I had the old channel, and someday we're gonna put it all back together with pictures and stuff where we're talking over the pictures. It picked up music in Thailand as copyright.
Mm-hmm.
I would have had
Copyrighted somewhere in the world.
Oh my God, is your little buddy over there? Look at oh my God, he's so tiny. He fits right on the.
That's him.
Right on the arm of it. And the other one's down here at my feet because she loves me. Right, Numby? So that covers the tunes part of it. As far as tastes go, we have recently been to a lot of new restaurants. And you can find all of these under, oh, Jesus, Feast and Review.
Last night, Lucia got to have some milk tea.
I did for the first time.
With her ramen dinner.
Mm-hmm. He's talking about WAFU Ramen in Scranton.
The milk tea was loaded with mango.
Mango so good.
Gelatin in the bottom. It wasn't tapioca balls like boba tea.
Right, because they ran out of it, so they substituted, and it was just as good. Had a nice little
very tasty
hint of mint that was
would
exquisite.
Be a great breakfast drink.
Yeah, definitely.
A mango milk tea.
Definitely. But at WAFU Ramen, it was just like when we were in Japan. From the ramen
bao bun
to the bao bun. Can I show them this?
Sure.
There is a way that I can be popping up pictures on there, but this way is easier. So you've got your bao bun, which is the bun with the chicken in the middle, the cucumber, and the special sauce. You've also got your ramen dish. This had so much steak in it, you guys. I could not finish this.
That's an entire New York strip steak.
But I love ramen. Then you've got your edamame. Who doesn't like edamame? Yes, Mark. Hint of mint. It was minty. Then you've got your takoyaki balls. This is octopus nuts, but it's deep fried and it's really good. It's got the what are they called again on the top? Bonito. And then you've got your karaage chicken, which is so good. And then your gyoza. These gyoza were different than the ones we had tonight, you guys. These were like deep fried. The ones we had tonight were very, very, very soft. What else do you have to say about WAFU?
Well, we enjoyed it, and it was local. We were
very
planning
local.
On driving to Wilkes-Barre to eat at one of our other favorite haunts.
Kenya.
Just
as good.
And we didn't make it to Kenya because we found out that it was called something different before.
Kenya?
No, the one in Scranton.
Oh, that was called Fuji Ramen Scranton.
Right.
But they changed the name in December of this year.
What about the Slurp?
The one before that was Peculiar Slurp.
Okay, so
Peculiar. I can't say it.
peculiar.
I can't say it. Peculiar Slurp. Slurp. I can't say it.
Slurp. So it's changed hands a couple of times.
It has.
And this is the first time that we actually went to try the food there, since it's been 3 different places. But we got there and we were pleasantly surprised.
And we got a nice message from the owners that said, thank you very much for the review and sharing it with your friends. We will definitely be going back no matter what. But today we went to a true hidden gem here in Tafton called the Log Tavern. The ResQ food truck was there with them, and we enjoyed tonight's meal, which was a cheeseburger that was branded with the ResQ on the bun, which that was pretty cool.
Branded burgers here in
Came
Tafton.
with French fries. We had some gyoza. They weren't as crispy as the ones that we had at.
They were steamed. They were not fried.
They were at WAFU. But then we also had special treat from the owner as a thank you gift. We actually got the Zeppelis, which is like cake with powdered sugar on it. And what was really cool while we were there, we actually got to see the people from Spanky's in the house. So it was nice to be hanging with them and our friends. It was a really good time. I really enjoyed the non-alcoholic IPA from Athletic Brewing Company.
And I enjoyed the Timber IPA from California.
Yeah. We also have in our playlist Yaya's Kitchen in Montague, New Jersey.
That was last Sunday, wasn't it?
That was last Sunday, and that was a really cool trip. Just got in a car and
only half an hour
Googled shawarma near me, and within 30 minutes we found a Greek kitchen restaurant.
That's right.
And it was good. It's definitely a mom and pop shop. It's very small, nothing unique, but everything was freshly made. So that was cool.
And we're trying to find someplace new to go every weekend at least. We work a lot during the week.
We do. And the NEPA Tripe Tour is back in full swing. Every Thursday we will be doing a tripe episode because everybody knows Lucia loves her tripe. And we're looking for places. So if you know of somewhere, let us know. Send us a message. Let us know where to go. I think I have an idea where we're going Thursday, but we might have a special guest.
We'll see.
Yeah, DeMattia's Food Fight might be joining us.
Maybe
he said he would try it, but he's going to be there for the other food. So maybe Batelli's Villa will be on the map.
Oh, wow.
Who knows? Let's talk about trails. So tell everybody about our recent well, let's go back. Let's go back to when we went to Brazil and Buenos Aires. Let's talk about that first.
Well, Lucia had seen at that point only 6 out of 7 of the 7 wonders of the world. I had already seen all 7, so I felt compelled to bring her to Christ the Redeemer statue, Cristo Redento, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and that was her seeing the 7th wonder of the world from her list. The list includes, of course, the Great Wall of China, the Taj Mahal, the Colosseum in Rome, Chichen Itza Pyramid in Mexico, the Treasury Building in Jordan, and now she got to see Machu Picchu in November of 2023, and to put the icing on the cake, number 7, Cristo Redento, Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro, and we got to see it in style.
Oh, we did.
We got ourselves a last-minute helicopter ride, and it took us all the way up all of the beaches in Rio de Janeiro and all the way around the Christ statue at the top of the Corcovado mountain. And on top of that, we got to see one of the 7 natural wonders of the world on this trip. In between Brazil and Argentina is Iguazu Falls, and we got to visit Iguazu Falls. Final destination was Argentina, and we had to cut our trip short because Lucia was too sick to stay.
Very sick.
Very sick.
Very sick.
So we got her back to the United States, and got her some medical attention here locally, and she was better in about 10 days or so.
Yeah, that was brutal.
It was a long
That was
haul.
brutal.
But our next trip came up soon after she got better. We had Thanksgiving dinner, and then we were off to the Panama Canal.
Mm-hmm.
We started in Miami. We headed through a couple of islands in the Caribbean, ended up on Aruba for the first time, and got to see what it's all about. We got to see what Aruba has to offer, and decided that someday we were going to just fly to Aruba and we're going to stay there for a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
But the ultimate was the Panama Canal itself,
Yes.
which was mesmerizing and fascinating all at the same time.
Yes.
We got to learn about the history of the Panama Canal. That the canal is actually initially started by the French in the 1800s,
Right.
finished by the Americans in the early 1900s. It was engineered almost 150 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
In any event, they decided that they were going to build a man-made lake, have locks to climb the ships up into the man-made lake.
Mm-hmm.
Ships sail across the man-made lake all the way to the other end, and they get let down into the Pacific Ocean.
Right.
All by means of gravity. There's no pumps involved with them getting the locks filled for the ships to rise up or settle down.
Right.
And we had a member of the Panamanian Canal Bureau on the ship to answer questions that you might have about the operation of the canal. It's operated 24 hours a day.
Mm-hmm. Somebody's got a comment.
Sounds awesome.
Next one.
To do St. Lucia?
Yeah. St. Lucia County. Read that.
There's a video No Pants will be releasing soon. Maybe a questionable title, but what a great time it was.
Hey.
I wonder if this is like the second No Pants video, because I thought that the first one was already.
It probably is. That's okay.
Already published.
No Pants can keep doing that to us. That's okay, because one of these days we're going to be at the booze resort, and I'll guarantee you, Mr. and Mrs. Booze won't be the same when we get there. I'm going to corrupt them both very badly. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Challenge accepted.
Yepper.
In any event, the rest of the Panama Canal cruise landed us in Panama City, which we thought Panama was a poor country.
Right.
Far from it.
Not even close.
And last week, Jimmy Carter died. They're having him at rest in Georgia right now, and he'll be going to Washington, D.C. They actually have a statue of Jimmy Carter in Panama City.
Yeah, they do.
We drove by it 3 times between the cruise ship and downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And it was. They have a lot of respect. They have a lot of admiration for the treaty that the Americans signed while President Jimmy Carter was in office.
Right.
So, right now there's a lot of people who are sad in Panama City.
I don't blame them,
because they held him in such high regard. But what a wonderful statesman! What a wonderful president he was, and during one of the hardest times our country has seen. Hi, Numby. I see you.
Where's Red Fox? Red Fox still over there? Or did he leave? He's gone.
So at the end of the day, we learned a lot about Panama.
We did.
Panama City.
We actually got to catch up
Panama Canal.
We got to catch up with a friend of ours that we met in South America, Buenos Aires, and we got to go back because it was just a really nice trip.
And they had some fancy beaches there in Panama.
Oh, yes.
So, yes, we might just take and fly to Panama one day instead of doing it on a cruise ship.
That'd be cool.
The fare for a cruise ship to go through the Panama Canal is very, very expensive.
For cruise ships, not for customers.
It's it costs so much money that the cruise ships have decided they don't want to go through the canal anymore.
No, they canceled a lot of the trips.
They canceled a lot of the cruises.
It's very expensive.
So much money.
How much money was it?
$250,000.
Yeah, that's a lot of dough.
One way.
That's a
for
lot
a
of
cruise
dough.
ship. That's a lot.
It is.
And the Panamanian government owns the canal right now, and there's always question marks about where that money went. Check your pockets.
No, my pockets are empty, bro. Nummy, let's check your pockets and your anal cavities.
Right now, we are in the middle of ramping up our tax season.
It's already brutal. I want out.
We'll work until the end of May when we get our next trip in.
Now, before you get into the trip.
But I just wanted to explain some of the joy that we have in planning our future excursions.
We do that during tax season. The whole time during tax season, I don't know how he does it. He maps out the trip. Every one of our trips for this year is already accounted for. They may not all be planned, but we are working on the one coming in May. I have to give a shout out to PK Adventures, Views and Cues. Who else did we watch? I got to think here for a minute. Views and Cues, PK Adventures, and there was a couple of other people. I believe Dave and Brandy Whiting, where we watched videos. No, it wasn't Dave and Brandy. It was PK Adventures, and it was Views and Cues that we watched for this upcoming adventure. You guys all know about our love for Japan. We just love going there because of our friends Daniel and Yuka. So we are going to go to China. We're going to take 3 days and get there 3 days early before the cruise ship takes off, because we are going to go to Universal Studios, which I stand corrected, as I said in the Ordinary Adventures live cast last night. They will be opening Epic Universe that day in Florida. So we're going to be in China at Universal Studios, which is going to be pretty fun. I'm really looking forward to it because it's the last Universal Studios that I have to go to. Hey, Red Fox, I've been to all the Disney parks and all the Universals but that.
Well, we're going to get to China at the beginning of May or the end of April. And Epic Universe, I believe, opens the middle of May.
Yep.
So for 2 solid weeks, you can say that you've been to every Universal Studios park
except
in the world, and then they open another one.
It's okay. It's all right. So we'll start there, and then we embark on the ship, Ovation of the Seas. It's an older ship. What year?
Oh, I think 1989.
But they've made a lot of improvements to it since then.
1998.
They've made a lot of improvements since then. From there, we'll go to Korea, which we've been wanting to go to Korea really bad. Fiona and No were just there.
Nope.
And what an amazing
Busan.
Adventure in Busan, yeah.
And they rode the Crystal Cabins.
That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll land in Japan, and we'll catch up with our friends Daniel and Yuka. Hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe we can try to meet up with some of the other Japanese creators. I'm not holding my breath, but it would be nice if we could. But hanging out with Daniel and Yuka is the best, especially with their child Kyle. Oh boy, I think we have a brawl going on. Nope, he's pissed. He's like, screw this. Go ahead, pick him up.
The cruise ship takes us through South Korea from China.
Yep.
Tianjin is the boarding point. It's a half an hour away from Beijing proper. And we have a hotel in Beijing booked already. They made us book our hotel 6 months ahead of time.
When we were getting my Chinese visa, it was really interesting because when I changed my name, they said, you have to get another one. So we did everything all in one day, which was good. Got my head slammed in the door on accident, of course. Thank God I had a hat on. And we were able to pick it up 3 days later. While we were there, we did a series of We Ate Our Way Through New York City on YouTube. And we got to eat at a lot of restaurants. We got to see Left on 10th.
Yep.
Which was a remarkable play. I would not waste my time going to see Harry Potter. I'm very upset about that because I'm a big fan of Potter. And
A lot of people love it, so you have to form your own
I
opinion.
know, but I got to go back and see that play because I want to see what happens. I don't care how much the tickets are. I will pay for the tickets. I got to go back. We had bad seating, and it just didn't work. Jimmy Carter was a true patriot. He always put country before self and never lied. You would think that he would be standard as a president. Ha! Yeah, right.
They like crooks.
That'll
They
never
like crooks
happen
for that
again.
job.
That'll never happen again, Jeff.
They don't like honest Indians for that
That'll
job.
never happen again, Jeff. Nope, not at all.
Sorry.
All right,
So that's why I could never have that job.
right.
Because I'm an honest Indian.
We're also going on a lot of other adventures. I will tell you this because everything's over on our website, luciaandglenn.com, under upcoming trips. We are looking into an all-inclusive. We almost have our family trip booked.
And we would love to have you come with us on a trip.
Wait a minute. We also have a bunch of cruises coming up.
But you have to pay for it.
If you would like to join us on one of our cruises, specifically the MSC cruise in November because somebody's turning 60.
I think it actually starts in October.
Starts in October. Let
But
us
it ends
know
on my birthday.
because that will be our official group trip.
There you go.
We don't have anything planned.
It's a brand new ship.
Basically, you book, you get on the ship. We do a meetup once a day when we're on the ship.
If possible.
We go out to dinner. We hang out.
We can go to
and
the club
fun.
and sing karaoke.
You
I
know,
know
speaking
all
of,
the words.
wait a minute. Speaking of
I know all the
karaoke,
words.
wait, I got to bring this up. So when we did Norwegian Gem, they had karaoke every night from 8 to 10, 8 to 10.
Every night.
The one night, Glenn and I got,
There's some regulars there.
oh yeah, one night we got adventurous and we walked up there and we walked in. And everybody that was on the ship, honest to God, I think we were like some of the youngest people on the ship. Glenn wanted to do Shallow by Lady Gaga and Bradley, what's his name? Cooper. Thank you. So we did it. We got a standing ovation. And when we went back the next night, he didn't sing again. I was singing, and it was just like a different room every night. Some of them were really old, and, you know, everybody supported each other. It was really cool.
You're really old.
I'm 50 years old. I'm not old. I'm far from it.
Really old.
You're older.
Really old.
You're older. Just like him. You're an old man like him.
You old hag.
You wish I was an old
You're
hag.
an old hag.
You wish I was an old hag. You're funny.
So are you ready to rumble?
So with that being said, we're going to say goodbye to the YouTube stream only. Just the YouTube side. We're not changing anything else. And we're going to continue our show over on Rumble, and we're going to do a Piano Night Live song for tonight. So if you're watching us from anywhere but YouTube, head on over to Facebook or Rumble, because here comes the tunes part of Tune, Taste, and Trails, Episode 1. All right.